Just playing around there with the light people. I was wondering who was tossing over the chairs every evening here, but it's actually the wind. When the wind is so strong in the evening, it tosses the chairs. And if they're close to the water, they load up with sand. So it's a little task in the morning to clean them. Let's go for our little stroll, people. There you have rot, and there you have new life. The sprout from the stump of Jesse. And sometimes when the rot is there is the time for the new life, also in society. It's very easy for human beings to become corrupted in principles and morals, in religious practice and liturgy, everywhere. We are so prone to corruption. We're just like all of nature, all of every reality that's living is fragile, in danger of attack to its being. The capers are coming back. You remember they were missing completely, and then they came back. Look at all the life inside this flower. I wonder what the ants are discovering there. Oh, there's 3 more down here. So that was all bulldozed away and it came back, you know. Bulldoze was just a tractor blade. And then these were gone as well, and here they're back. The regeneration. And there's quite a bit of that in this readings today. We have Jerusalem trembling because an assault is being planned against it. The armies are coming. And that word of hope, not to be afraid, to have confidence, to have trust, to know where your security is. We'll venture across the Mississippi today. And it's still flowing in the middle of July. Today is a special day. I ask you for a prayer for today for Northern Ireland. There's always a traditional march on the 12th of July of the Orange Men. And it was often marked by major violence and pogroms with very little police intervention and ransacking of neighborhoods. And those old traditions take time to be transformed. Hey, look at all these little rats. I wonder what they are. Would they be baby, I don't know what they are. There's a whole family of them. But they were not the usual rats that I'm familiar with from the farm. I don't know what type of... Oh, here we have the diggers working here. They're doing a dig in here. I must talk to the Franciscans one morning. We must come in here. It's it's nice to see them digging at this hour of the morning. They have a number of different covers up for the sun. Archaeology starts very early in the morning because the sun gets very hot here. So in the Middle East, when archaeology is happening, you beat the sunrise. Sometimes that happens. I remember when I was studying in Spain back in 1976, 77, and 77. In the early summer, we were helping in for a couple of weeks to harvest lentils, and the sun was unbearably hot in the afternoon, so we'd go out in the dark of morning. So probably around 5 o'clock in the morning, or 4:30, we'd get up and we'd head out in the tractors, the trailers, all the seminarians, over 100. You can imagine the amount of harvesting we did. The farmers were very happy, and then they gave quite generous compensation. So we were able to do some renovations or put in an auditorium, many different things we did because of those summers of work. And it was great training for those who hadn't known farming work. Hey guys, what's going on here? Well, what's going on is actually one of the most important feasts of Islam, Eid al-Adha, A-D-H-A. So if you Google that, you can find, or just Google Muslim feasts. Eid Saeed. This is a live stream. Shidur, hi. You having good party? Mobsuteem?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. This is nice, no? Hello, dear. What's this? Ah, very good, very good. This is the Argila. Can we do this? So they're celebrating the sacrifice of Ishmael. That's the Muslim narrative on what we call the sacrifice of Abraham, and what the Jewish people call the binding of Isaac, because the sacrifice animal was always bound and tied to the altar, because when they were sacrificing, the animal mightn't like what was going on, so they had to be tied to the horns of the altar. That was the reason for the horns of the altar. They tied the animal there, and then the Muslim narrative talks about Ishmael being sacrificed. So the story today is that what goes on, they have a big celebration for 4 days, and today is, I think, the holiest day of the year for them, and it's the conclusion of the pilgrimage to Mecca, the Hajj. So we're living in a society with quite a sizable Muslim population, especially here in the north of Israel, in the Haifa area, and in all the way to Nazareth, and down the coast, and north of the coast to Netanya, more or less. They're a very, very significant Muslim population, and really had very wonderful coexistence in Haifa, with a large Christian population also, and obviously a significant Jewish population. And we pray for that peace. And it's good to know about the celebrations and festivities of different peoples, because I think most of our societies in the world have that circumstance nowadays. And it's good to know the thoughts of your neighbors and their celebrations. Many of our employees are on vacation these days, many of our Muslim employees, and then many of our guests are Muslim families, eating in our dining room, and children playing, lots of children. And so to learn to live together, to respect each other, that's a big challenge for our world today. To leave space for the others, and to encounter with goodness, to meet each other with love. what a challenge in our times. One of the great things I notice about the Muslim society is the intense family life, the great welcome for children, the celebration together in family. But that's also being challenged. On Sunday we were out having our little day off, and we stopped in a place to get some lunch, and us priests, and there was a family about 2 tables away from us, 3 boys and the parents, and the 3 boys spent the entire time of lunch on their cell phones playing their games. They didn't talk to each other once, and the parents talked a little bit with each other, but not a lot. I guess it's also possible for a couple that's mature in their relationship just to be together, quietly together. That's also beautiful. And let the sun shine on you like Mount Arbel here. But the capacity for encounter and conversation and getting engaged with the other right in front of you, sitting at your table, is so important. And it's not just a problem for the Muslims, it's a problem for everybody. It could even be a problem for priests. And we're trained in such a spirit of contemplation and prayer for so many decades, even older priests. So I think our society has a big challenge there in our time. Today the readings are quite strong. They're readings that challenge us to responsibility. We started off commenting about the hope that's needed in front of danger, and that's the first reading. And then the responsibility. In the whole context, if you read chapter 11 of Matthew, it's good to read the whole context because there's a couple of different parts to it that are complementary, and also the tone in which it ends, which we don't reach today. It's a shorter chapter, but we'll reach it soon, maybe tomorrow even, I'm not sure. And Jesus speaks strong words to people who are very proud, who are very sure of themselves, very critical of him. And it's a call to responsibility. And one of the things we don't like is responsibility. We love to have privileges and rights and opportunities and pleasures, but responsibilities? Not really, no thanks. I just want to enjoy myself, spread my wings, relax, tickle my back. Ooh, we had a turtle, a purple heron right under our toes here. Another one, there we go. There we got one. Now there you got a nice purple heron taken off. We got her good sideways. So there were 2 of them right down there. They didn't expect a live stream from here this morning. So there are consequences for lack of responsibility. The child that doesn't do homework, it's very hard to face an exam at the end of the school year. The farmer who doesn't work the fields, it's very hard to expect a good harvest. The cleaning of a house, of a home, the medical attention to do exercises, therapy, responsibility. And that's where we show ourselves, where we grow ourselves in how we respond to situations, respond to threat, like strengthening hope, and respond to invitations to convert, not by prideful resistance, but by opening our ear. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is your God. come follow me. These invitations we get from grace, and to respond. People, I wish you a day full of wonderful response, generous response, helpful response to those in need, and to great encounter with those in front of you today, to celebrate together, to build up the family, the neighborhood, our world. God bless you from the Sea of Galilee.